Hey guys, how are you this morning? Good morning, grand rising, however way you like to be greeted, This is your girl Lati here at Tears and Wheat Tarot. Just want to pop in and get a empowering question for the wheat field and see, what it is that we should be considering. I'm definitely considering a range of emotions today. It's the top of the week and going through the phases of between being triggered and upset and frustrated, sad. But I realize I feel like that because I have a deep caring and knowingness, a drive to help people be better. I have a kiddo, I'm an adoptive mom, and I have a 14-year-old who I've been raising since before she was one. And she's been with me her whole life between her dad and I, who are now divorced. And I think that back and forth, kind of does some things that irritates the internal conflict and challenges that she already has. And we're still dealing with a lot of things, in that some things that are just innate to her that we don't quite always understand. And I know the frustration that we receive, that we feel, like the grief, the sadness, the triggering, is all because of the love and the desire to push her towards success, right? So she can be the greatest that she can be, reach her highest self. And she's 14, so of course I'm not her favorite person right now. And pushing her to be responsible, to try her best, can be frustrating. And yeah. I don't know who else may have kiddos out there who are going through some things. If you are an adoptive parent, if you are struggling with a teenager who has behavioral issues, or some other type of health issues that are impacting their behavior, just know that I'm with you and I support, you in healing and your emotional support as well. I mean, sometimes you just don't know what to do. And I know that I've been there plenty of times, like feeling at my wits' end and not really knowing what to do. And I always turn back to spirit to see how is this situation moving me towards growth and being a better parent, more understanding, more compassionate, more empathetic, putting myself in her shoes to try and see life through her eyes, not just to see if I can understand it for myself, but as if I were her. Like, how would that feel? And it always pushes me again to come out of my comfort zone and to dig deeper into what it is that she needs to reach her highest self. So now when I look to help her, I'm looking or always trying to find the ways to do that in an appropriate way that she receives the help and she's able to help herself. Yeah, like learn how to manage herself, right? Because that's what is going to be needed for her to operate effectively and efficiently out in the world, right? We in the family are always going to give her the best love and support that we can give. However, she's not only going to deal with us. So for her to have a deep understanding of herself and how does she operate, how does her mechanics work for her highest good, is something that we're working through. And when I say it could be a struggle, okay, yeah. And I know anybody that's raising teenagers in this day and age could feel that, okay? So spirits gave us this card, and I just looked at it and I think it is absolutely in line with what we're discussing, right? What kinds of recurrent situations or people do I attract? What kinds of lessons might they have about myself? I mean, well, goodness, didn't I just say that one of the things that I learned as a lesson by being a parent to an adoptive child who has some internal challenges, that is all the things that we talk about in relationship building, right? Attachment issues and bonding and the feeling of that something's missing. And my baby doesn't have her mom or her birth dad, right? And so sometimes when you have that space that's missing from a parent, that child, definitely you can give all the love and support you want as an outside entity, but that missing internal peace connection is still something that you may struggle with feeling or getting them to feel whole, right? Where they're not seeking that outside, something from the outside that they have not had a connection to inside. And so we speak about connection to the spirit, and how there's some places that even I, as an adoptive mom, can't feel. And when those spaces that are held for her birth parents, the only thing that could come in and feel that is the spirit. And teaching her to lean into her spirit and into self, and feeling full, and understanding that she is whole and complete, and that she can make it through the circumstances of her life, and showing her the blessings that she has, definitely is a recurring thing, right? Like, it's something that we teach to and talk to on a consistent and continual basis, right? Every day we're reminding about how you are whole and complete, and to allow the spirit to expand and fill you up, fill up those spaces that you may feel emptiness, that you feel grief, that you feel loss, right? That you don't, yeah, like, it's just something's missing, right? And that part that's missing, the only thing that can feel that is the spirit, right? So with that, what kind of lessons might they have about myself? Is empathy. Yeah, putting myself in her shoes all the time. And even when I get upset, about things that she's expressing, the behaviors that come out, I may lose it. I might blow up and yell, but I always come back, because the love and even the sadness I feel over yelling, like, I don't like to yell, but she does have to have discipline for behavioral issues. And how do you discipline when you know that there's some internal conflict, and you can see a range of behaviors that says, yeah, you know what you're doing, you understand. And you may be angry, and you may be expressing anger and frustration and loneliness in some sort. And we need to talk about how you can do that and express yourself, and without creating additional problems. Yeah, because being the person that is, the mom and the caregiver support, I am often one of those people that catch the wrath, right? I do. We catch the wrath, and there isn't a lot of support for parents, who are going on this walk. You do, it's a labor of love, but that doesn't mean it's not a labor, and that you don't need support while you're doing this thing. And yeah, so it could just be a challenge, yo. It really, really is. Spirit, we are talking about getting through challenges and relationships with people. And even if they are our kiddos, our children, or our husbands, our wives, you have to come from a space of understanding, and getting to understanding starts with sympathy and empathy, right? And communication, and being able to speak to one another, and those are working those light attributes, right? So let's get some light worker and see what spirit would have to offer us. I feel energy up here, so we're just going to pick through until we find it. Here it is. Cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. Get that in there. Yeah. So I know that me being in this situation as an adoptive parent, in this phase of my life, that It's something that's happening for me. Even all the frustration, even all the heartache and everything, it's pushed me to be such a deeper person. Like to understand about certain types of illnesses and attachment styles and how people express, how they communicate. That could be way different from the way that I communicate and understand. She's shown me a brightness and love that I've never even experienced, right? A commitment and a devotion to another person that is well outside of just a normal realm of, what you may have to do for a person to support their highest good. Learning how to put appropriate boundaries in certain places or do that differently. Yeah. And we know as parents, as any parent can that has more than one child, well, can probably say that, yeah, the way you parent all children is not going to necessarily be the same, or interact with people across relationships or even in the same household is not going to be the same. You're going to have to tailor that specifically for each child, or like, person. I mean, I think that's pretty obvious, right? I'm not going to treat my husband the way that I treat my kiddo, and that's just that. I don't have a husband anymore, but it's whatever. Inner temple, devotion, tune into the portal of your heart. Yes, we were just saying that it's a labor of love. It's something that I'm devoted to. It's something that I'm going to see it through to the end. As many days as I felt like we were going to give up and we weren't going to make it, yeah, Spirit has shown us a way to continue to persevere, to be tenacious, and to support each other in our uniqueness. Right? How do we do that? How do we support each other in our uniqueness? All while holding on to your own sanity. Again, those extra outside resources and supports are the ones who are supposed to be there for us, but we know that that help isn't always there. Longing for home, belonging, the original light workers. Yes, I feel like, again, that longingness that my kiddo has is something that I have a hard time affecting. And the only thing that I can ever reference back to her is the source. The source will feel you. You were given your lot because you are strong enough and you do have the perseverance and you do have the tenacity in order to get through this thing, right? If the source coming in on a daily basis is there, you activating it and recognizing the fact that you have the help will help you get through those hard days. And some days, you just don't even want to deal. It's like, is it all for naught? Is it like, what is the purpose of all of this? I feel like it's hurting me more than I'm helping anybody else. And I definitely understand that. Yeah. It's all coming together. Intuitive Hits Soul Tribe. Yeah. That's something that I hold close, is that I do believe that the Spirit is going to bring this all together. That we are a soul tribe, and just because she came through one spirit doesn't mean that we're not connected in a soul way, and that she can still receive what she needs to feel whole. Because oftentimes when we don't feel whole and we feel incomplete, like something's missing, we run off to seek that thing, that seekingness that drives us usually down the wrong way, right? Into things that to fill us up and make us feel good, because we don't want to feel the bad, the frustration, the sadness, the grief, the loneliness, the abandonment. We don't want to feel that, so we fill it up. We fill it with something else. And for my kiddo, it is everything on the outside, right? It is aesthetics and makeup and clothing, where all the other things that she needs to be a whole person are left to the wayside. And I think that's indicative of pretty much any teenager, right? They are into what they want and not necessarily what's good for them. And when you layer on all of those other things, yeah. protection, call back your power, cut the cord, soul retrieval. I'm really called to, Spirit actually pulled it in a reverse when we put it on the table. So somebody doesn't feel protected and they may not know that they can call back their power or that they even have power, right? They may feel powerless. And Spirit is saying, yes, sometimes I feel powerless. Yes, Spirit, thank you for the comfort. Yes, because sometimes I do feel powerless to really affect change, to get the change so deep in her that it starts to root and sprout up. And I know that when you plant a seed, like it roots to grow down first before it starts to come up and break the ground and express on the outside. So I just stay steadfast and keep putting the seeds in there, praying and having confidence in that faith that the seed is going to take root. I'm not going to give up. I believe that the seed is going to take root, that I was placed in steward over this little beloved, that, because I have what it takes to help her persevere. And I believe that the Spirit is going to help me persevere in that work. Have fun, celebrate, don't be so serious. Spirit turned it upside down. So that's saying to me that if play is in a reverse, that means we're not being playful. We're not having fun. Maybe we are being too serious, or maybe I'm being too serious, right? Maybe my drive to push her to a higher standard is too much, for her and where she's at. Again, me being sympathetic and empathetic, being able to see from her standpoint whether or not I'm pushing her too far or too fast, or if she is able to perform that thing at this point of her process. Yeah. That definitely makes me be a better person. Absolutely. It's something that I go through on a recurring basis that's pushing me outside of my comfort zone and making me learn lessons. Yeah, just peeking back at that card to make sure I got it right, but that's pretty much what I feel. Warrior woman, have you answered your deepest calling? This card keeps coming out. Are you somebody that has a call? Like, are you in care? Are you called to care for somebody else, or just whatever it is that you're calling for? I know I was called to take care of this kiddo. I mean, she's in my care. And when I'm devoted and committed to her, yes I am, because she's the loveliest little thing. If you go back through my videos, you will see her in one of them. We're messing around with the pendulum and asking questions and colors and stuff like that. Yeah. But I know that's a part of my calling. And I know that she's going to be good. She's going to be good. But this going through, we be having issues, what I tell you. Seeding the light, laying foundations, divine plan. I literally was just saying, dropping in those little seeds, I know that one of them are going to take root. Many of them, they're going to take root in their own time. It's going to sit in there, in that soil, in her soul space, and it'll grow. Again, what did they used to say when we was young? Lead a child in the way that they should go. They may stray off, but when they're old, they'll return back to that old way. Yeah, that's what I'm believing on. Like, I'm having confidence and assurance that what I'm teaching her and rooting and sowing into her will take root. And even if she strays off on her own path, that she will return. She will get back to those foundational principles that has been seeded into her, those foundations that have been laid. And I do believe that that is divine synchronicity, like that is the plan. I do, yeah. I believe that. Thank you, Spirit. Is there anything else in here that you would like for us to have? Okay. Where are you being called to journey to? That turned in a reverse. So maybe I'm not supposed to be going on a journey anywhere. That's saying that maybe I need to stay steadfast, right? Maybe I need to stay right where I'm at and stay consistent and hold this space, right? Keep working and doing exactly what I'm doing, considering more ways to morph and evolve, adapt as we continue on. and see the outcome, the fruit of the labor, right? You may need to make a little bit of adjustment, and that's a part of it. Is there anything else? No? Okay, thank you. So today, spirits, my lovely beloveds, seeds of light, just lovely light workers out here in the plane. What light are you working today? And is it any recurring situations that keep coming back to you? How do you take those lessons and make them better, make yourself better, edification onto self, so you can be edifying onto others, so that we can edify the source, right? So that's something that we definitely could ponder this morning or mid-morning, before you, depending on your time zone. It could be in the middle of the night, depending on where you are. We global with this thing. We global. Yes. One thing that's great about building your own doors in these days and ages, right? We don't have to wait for somebody to build us a door or give us a path. We make our own door. Yes, we do. So guys, this is your girl Lati here, just popping in with a quick morning empowering question, giving you a little bit of self, sharing a little bit of me, and let you know how I use these as well for self-growth and counseling, digging into self deeper, a little bit of self-discovery as well. Doing all of that work. We're going to do this together. We're going to do this together. We are here to support you. Absolutely. And I pray that you guys are always here to support me. Yeah. Because we're connected at the end of the day. This whole thing, we're connected. And I want us to raise our vibrations and get better together. We know how to do all that low vibrational stuff. It's too much of that out there. We're going to leave that stuff behind us and cast it into the sea of forgetfulness. And as we move through this day, we're going to bring in those layers of light, that sympathy and empathy, communication from a state of understanding, and giving on to compassion. Yes, that puts us into a place of learning, knowledge, the beginning of getting to that principle thing, that path to wisdom, as we perform what we learn, that knowledge, we practice it on a daily basis, being consistent, getting to a state of perfectedness in that thing, mastery, right? Mastering that thing. Nobody's going to be truly perfect, but you can master that thing. You can master it. And then once you get to mastery, we are in the realm of peace. Yes. So let's practice on how to stay connected to one another. Let's practice on leaning into sympathy and empathy and compassion, communicating from a state of understanding to gain understanding, so that we can get the knowledge that puts us on the path to wisdom and peace. Yes. Until the next time on Tears and Wheat Tarot, where we look at the tears that are in our lives, right? So we can see what they are projecting back to us. Yes, and as we journey through this collectively, we can see how we need to move around. Yes, and how we adjust so that we can fulfill our highest selves and continue to seed others so that they may reach their highest selves as well. Because we're all called. Called for what, you may ask? Well, for good bread, pray tell. Yes. And so until the next time, I love you. I love you, I love you, I love you. I love you just like I love me. And I love me because I love the source. Yes, that principle thing, I love that. I love that. Until the next time, guys, ashe.